Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy II on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode, Rupes and his friends defeated the Dark Elf and reclaimed the Earth Crystal. But before they head out of the cave here, I gotta run into one more enemy that I didn't meet on the way down. So once you do that, I'll show off its stats, and then we'll just use an exit spell to get out of here. So both Tella and Rupes have the exit spell available to them, and that just basically whoops you out of a dungeon entirely. So, there was another spell, Warp Spell, that's a black magic spell. That only takes you back one level, though. So in this case, we want to use the exit spell. But there's the monster, we want the Cave Naga in the back. So these enemies are going to fall pretty quickly, thanks to, being able to use metal weapons. A lot of them are weak to Holy, so Rupes will do extra damage. Yang has the Charm Claws, which do extra damage to Ogres. So we can now pretty much one-shot them. So, look at that, over 2,000 damage. And Rupes are going to do a lot to this Cave Naga, because like I said, see, it's weak to Holy. And with that, we have defeated and seen all the enemies inside this cave, so... Like I said, if you want to get that mage summon, you'd want to farm for that mage enemy here. But I'm not going to be doing that because that will basically just cause my characters to be really super over-leveled. And I'm just going to do like a normal playthrough here. For the bonus episode, I'll show off all the rare summons and all the stuff that is only accessible through enemy drops. So I want to heal myself up here because I'm going to be going back to the... forest, Chocobo Forest, and I'll just talk with a white Chocobo to refill my MP. Now, when you get on the black Chocobo, it's going to take you back to its home forest, and it's not fair because it could fly over mountains. So, yeah, we'll see that again because I'm about to take another black Chocobo to another Chocobo Forest real quick, just to point it out and to, get the 100% treasure, get the carrot inside it. All the Chocobo forests have a little carrot in them to summon the large Chocobo. It'll be easier too to get the white Chocobo here. He has less room to run around. And we get another carrot. And as you'll see, we'll fly over the mountains again with this Chocobo as it flies back to its home. So, yeah, right over the mountains. We couldn't do that though. But now we're going to take another Chocobo, but this time we're just going to take the gold Chocobo, the yellow Chocobo, and just head back down to Toroia. And we're going to talk with several people there. We're going to talk with the clerics so they can give us lend us the Earth Crystal, and then we're going to talk with Edward, and then we're going to loot the treasure room that we're finally going to get a chance to do. But first we're going to go to the town here. And I'm going to sell a bunch of that equipment that I don't longer need anymore. I'm going to get a great bow from the treasure room that I couldn't access earlier. So that's why I just sold this great bow here. You could keep a second one because we're going to get another party member that can use bows, but not really necessary. So, but we also want to go buy that pass now because we have enough money to get that pass. It's totally pointless to get this pass. All you basically see is the dancers for this village. There isn't even any like reward down here. It's not like Final Fantasy V where if you play all the pianos you get a special song. It's not like if you see all the dancers here you get a special dance. It's just something I guess they just wanted to throw in here. So in the after years there's actually a reason to come down here. There's an equipment shop in the dressing room where you can buy certain gear that allows you to do a certain band. Bands are group attacks that multiple characters do. And I think there's also some treasure. It's been a while since I played the after years. It's years. But so here you have this little dance. You just dance and eventually do 9 dances and then pulling whoever your character is on screen up to the throne room. Put them on the throne and just do a little dance. And then we can go back into their dressing room afterwards and talk with them there. But surprisingly, when you go back to the dressing room, there's only one dancer there, so I don't know where the other ones went. But like I said, totally not worth the 10,000 gold that you use to, you know, get the pass. But I guess if you want to do everything, see everything, well then, here you go. So that's the dance. There's the old guy says the same thing at the beginning of the dance and at the beginning of the dance. You think you'd have different dialogue before you saw the dance for the first time, but nope. Hey, this is the dressing room. Yeah, there's a, like I said, there's treasure in the after years, and you can buy equipment there. So it's the same thing. He apparently loved the dance, even though he wasn't the one who put on the throne. So I forgot the name. It's the Saloon King. I just wanted to get the name again, so I hop back down in here real quick. Yep, the Saloon King. So now we're done fooling around here in the town. Now we're going to head to the castle. Like I said, we have multiple objectives in the castle. First one we have to go, of course, is to see the clerics. They will let us use the Earth Crystal, also let us take their treasure. And then we also want to go see Prince Edward. Let him know that, thank him for saving us, basically. Yeah, because like I showed in the last episode, if you never talk with Edward, you basically just get an instant game over there. So let's head to the clerics, because they, like I said, we need to see them, and they also unlock the treasure room, so that is it. The Crystal of Earth, you got it back. Great. Looks like you've got the crystal, Rupes. Jarvis? Go outside and get on your airship. I'll take you to where Lily is. The clerics disperse and talk with them. And this is where we get the permission to use the treasure. Please use the treasure down in the basement. We would like it to be used for good. Sadly, the treasure isn't very good. Probably the best thing you get down there is like 2 elixirs, I think. So, not get any game-breaking equipment, but like I said, we will get that one great bow, and we'll get a bunch of arrows. Pretty much means that we'll probably never have to buy arrows for the rest of the game, even though that's going to be Lily's preferred weapon. There's 2 ways you can really outfit Lily, who will of course be joining our party later. You can either have her be a ranged fighter with the bow and arrow and the aim command, so she'll never miss. So she actually can deal decent damage with that setup. She can also exploit, like, you know, elemental weaknesses. Some will also get some like Medusa arrows that can turn an enemy into stone. Mute arrows that can mute a spellcaster. So yeah, there's some pretty good arrows additions. So that's one way to equip Lily. The other way is, if you're not doing bow and arrows, is to give her a staff. And staffs usually will raise her her will, which is the stat that determines how effective your white magic is. In the next dungeon we're going to be going to, there's a rare drop. It's the only way you can get it. It's basically like the best staff in the game. So if you're lucky to get one of them, you may actually want to have Lily focus on a white mage type build and not focus on the arrows. But I prefer the arrows. So. You did it! It's you, Edward. Well, but where did you learn that tune? When I was wandering around as a bard, I heard the tune to bind evil fairies. You've saved us all, Prince Edward. No, not really. Ouch. Edward. And he finally makes peace with Tella here. Master Tella, Anna was happy to be loved by a brave man like you. Tella, I will avenge Anna with Medio. I'll take yours too. Thank you. You really are brave, Edward. Oh, Anna, I think I've come to understand what you were really trying to tell me. Anna. In the re-release for this game for the Game Boy Advance, at the end of the game, every single person who was in your party, with the exception of Tella, we'll see why, can rejoin your party later on. Basically, where the Elder in Macity is, that wishing tower, all the other party members end up gathering there. So if you want to go there, you can go there and switch party members out at the end of the game. So it's important that I guess you do that because there's some bonus dungeons that certain parts only unlock if you have a character in the final party. So maybe just a quick save there, because it's going to be a while until we get to another save point in this dungeon. Where's the Crystal of Earth? It's here. Where's Lily? Follow my airship. And actually we'll be splitting up this dungeon without hitting a save point, so it's not too long of a dungeon, but you know, to finish it off with all the stuff we did in Toroia there, you know, it works out. So Jarvis tells us to go to the top of the tower and exchange the crystal there. So we're gonna have to go through this tower here, which has some pretty tough enemies in there, but we're gonna get some pretty decent equipment as well. So Taylor will be useful with his magic, because Yang we want to have with the fire claws, because a lot of enemies here are going to be weak against fire. So the fire, we might not want to equip that right away. We might want to save equipping that until after this mini boss we got coming up here. Fire magic, the fire armor, it will reduce the damage you take from ice magic, but it will increase the damage that you take from fire magic. And we're going to fight a mini boss coming up in a treasure chest that uses a strong fire attack. So it's actually going to hurt Rupes quite a bit, but he'll still be able to survive it. So you might want to, if your Rupes is a little bit lower level, you might want to not equip it until after you fight this flame dog coming up. The flame dog is going to drop an important item, the flame sword, which is going to be really useful in this area because, like I said, a lot of the enemies are weak to fire. One that isn't weak to fire is the carapace in the back there. So we want to switch off and put the ice claw on Yang, just to take out these carapaces. I forget to do that, but then I do it on the second time, so you get to see the difference in damage. So, yeah, because that fire claw that he has, basically doing nothing because it's strong against fire, so that attack basically doesn't count. But now with the ice claw, we'll be doing double damage, so we'll just see how it went from like 100 to like 2,000. So yeah, Yang is really, really good because he can exploit elemental weaknesses so easily. So that's one of the good things with his claws there. So you just have to keep pretty much a whole inventory of the claws, so you can switch them around for whatever weakness you need to exploit. So we're going to keep the ice claw on because we're going to exploit this enemy weakness here, this flame dog, obviously weak to fire, to ice, and strong with fire. As you can see, it did the most damage to Rupes because he has that fire armor on. But that'll be a random encounter later on, so we'll see that monster again. But from there, it's just kind of a little mini boss guarding the flame sword, which we're going to equip on Rupes to exploit, like I said, all those fire weaknesses that most of the monsters in this area have. So, the gremlins, they're weak to fire, and then the centaur in the back there. We ran into this group earlier, but we didn't see the centaur stats because they just kept the gremlins on. The gremlins are roughly weak enough, but we're going to have to switch back the fire claw back onto Yang for the ice claw. And like I said, the only one that really has the ice weakness is the carapaces. But still gonna get good use out of the ice claw because eventually we're gonna get to another dungeon where a lot of enemies are weak to ice. So that's why we're keeping all these claws in reserve. The lightning will come in handy on a few occasions. There's going to be, as you can see, we're kind of in a futuristic area here. We're going to be in a few futuristic dungeons, and that will hold machine enemies, and machine enemies are weak to lightning. here's an interesting enemy, the Marion. Raises some plot points though. But the Marion you can farm enemies off of, because the Marion after it turns will just, after a while will just summon this puppet. So one thing you can do is, because Rupes is the only one who's going to be in our party forever, you can defeat all the other characters in your party, put Rupes in the back row, and just farm an enemy over and over and over again. You basically let the Marion summon a new puppet. Rupes will defeat the puppet in one hit, even from the back row, because he's exploiting the elemental weakness, the weakness to fire that the puppet has. And you can gain a ton of experience, gain like multiple levels in one battle. And then, of course, that experience will go on to people who are going to join our party in a little bit. Spoilers, Jarvis and Lily. So, and other characters who, later on, like Georgie. So, yeah, all the characters that you once had in your party that will rejoin your party, they're gaining experience from all these fights. So that way, they're basically at a proper level to what you are. So, yeah, because remember Jarvis, when he left us, he was what, level 11? Because he started at level 10, gained 1 level in the Mist Cave. But now, if he was at level 11 again, his stats would be so low, his hit points and all his attack and stuff, where now you'll notice he'll basically be a little bit higher than Rupes when we get him. So you got this windy little passage here, a bunch of battles, but that's okay. Experience is good. And now we get this group again. The Silent Staff is the staff that is really, really good. Like I said, it's basically the best white magic staff in the game. The Rune Armlet is also a very good drop. It gives really good magic resistance. We'll be able to buy them though a little later. So obviously the best drop there to get would be the Silent Staff. So we got some Ice Lizards, obviously weak against fire. Swordman back there is also weak against fire. You'll see that's a Fire Claw and Rupes' Fire Sword are coming in good handy. Sadly, Sid doesn't really have an elemental weapon. He will get a weapon coming up, his best hammer. But the problem with that hammer is it doesn't really exploit any weakness. The only thing the hammers are, I guess, good for is against mechanical enemies. Hammers do extra damage, but we're not really running into any mechanical enemies here. Like I said, in the Game Boy Advance remake of this, where you can bring anybody back into your party, you can have Sid back for the end game, and there's some machine enemies there, so he can be useful there. But for right now, we're not really hitting the anytimes that he can really exploit. So here we are on the 4th floor. This will leave off for this episode, and I'll finish the judge in the next. Take care, have a good one, bye.